Buck at SoCal Motorcycle Services here in sunny San Diego. Beautiful day today, like almost always. Well, right here we have a 2004 Harley Road King. The customer's complaint was that the bike was getting sluggish, and then it started to get hard to start, and it was running strange. And when he rode up, I just heard this bad clacking noise, and it sounded like it was running on like 1.5 cylinders. It just didn't seem like it was running smoothly at all. So what we're going to do first, before we do anything else, is do a compression test. Compression test on a Harley is quite simple. The spark plugs are right there. The only thing you have to remove are the spark plug wires and the spark plugs to do the actual compression test. The tools you need to do that are it's a 5/8 inch spark plug socket. Spark plug sockets are great because they have a rubber insert that actually holds the spark plug and keeps it from falling, and also the rubber protects the porcelain so you don't chip it or crack it. You don't want to be chipping and cracking your spark plugs. That would be bad. So first thing we do, the other tool we're going to use is a compression tester. It's from a company called Lang. I've been using this for years. You open up the kit and it has your compression gauge, different fittings for different spark plug holes, and an extension so that you can put it in a spark plug hole a lot easier. That's what the kit looks like. So the first thing we're going to do is remove the spark plug wires, grab them by the boot, and just pull them out. There should be a kind of a little snap. So there's the front and the rear. Then we're going to remove the spark plugs. Make sure your ratchet's on off. I like to loosen them up first. With the ratchet. Then I remove the socket, put it back on the plug, and finish removing them by hand. The spark plug threads are steel into an aluminum head, so you want to be very careful. And you definitely want to be careful when you're putting them back in. So there's the rear spark plug. See how the rubber holds the spark plug from falling? It's very lean looking. That white means that it's just very lean. It's in good condition, but very lean. Okay, we put that down and we grab the front plug. The threads are pretty long. Takes a minute to take it out. There's the front spark plug. Looks a little lean as well. In alright condition. Just lean, very lean. You can tell it's lean by the electrode being white. If you were looking for like a chocolate milk cocoa color, but there's no oil in them, so that's good. So then I got the correct adapter on the extension hose, and as you'll notice, they have O-rings, so you don't have to put them in too tight. You just screw them in by hand. Make sure you don't cross thread them. And it should go in quite easily. So you just screw it in. The front one's a little hard to get to. And it is the correct size because I checked it. You want to make sure that you get it started correctly because you do not want to strip the threads. And see where it goes real smooth, that means it's in correctly. You do not want to crank down on it too hard. It has an O-ring seal. You just make sure the O-ring touches and turns a little bit. You do it all by hand. Then you connect the gauge like this. Then you connect the gauge like this. That was just somebody stopping by to say hi. So you zero the gauge with the little button, you let all the pressure out. Then you turn the bike on. Make sure it's in neutral. Give it full throttle. And you crank it for just like up to 5 seconds. Till it stops moving. The gauge needle. The gauge needle will pump up every now and then in different stages, but when it stopped at about 155, which is really good. On a stock Harley motor, you want between 150 and 160 psi. That's pounds per square inch. But that's the front cylinder, so we'll check the rear. But the front cylinder seems very healthy. I'm pleased with that. Okay, so now you go to the rear. You insert the hose again, screw it in. I like to turn it by the hose until it seats lightly, then a little bit more, not too tight. Remember, don't use a tool. Then you release the pressure on the gauge. It holds the pressure so that you don't have to be staring at it. So I give the throttle full, give it full throttle, and you crank it. And there's our problem. If you can see that, we're reading about 80 to 90 psi. There's something going on with the rear cylinder. It could be scored. The rings could be worn out. Cylinder bore could be scored. The valves could not, may not be seating. Valve seats could be worn. The valves could be worn. It could have been a bent valve. It doesn't seem like it's a hold piston or anything because it does have almost 100 psi, but it's bad. And then another good rule of thumb is you want the front to pretty much match the rear within 5%. So we're going to have to do a few things for this bike. Now, it's a 2004 Road King. It's got the twin cam 88 motor in it. The twin cams, the early ones like this one, has a big flaw. The cam chain tensioners are little plastic pieces that tension the cam chains, and they're driven by springs. Harley went to hydraulic to try to fix the problem. They're better, and then you could go to geared cams, but that's just you need a very healthy, almost new motor to do that. So this bike has 60,000 miles on it. I don't believe the cam chain tensioners have ever been checked. And if they get worn, it would explain the clacking noise it was making. And it would also throw off your valve timing. Shouldn't really affect compression, but it could. So what we're going to do is we're going to check the cam chain tensioners on the bike while it's here. Then we're going to take off the rocker boxes, check to see if I could see anything from the outside. And if that all looks good, we're probably going to take the head off, inspect the valves. If the valves look okay, we'll take the cylinder off, inspect the cylinder. If I was going to bet, I would say it's a worn cylinder. Because it is holding some pressure, just not enough. I think it's leaking past the rings. So if the rings are bad or the cylinder is scored, it has striation marks on it, and it just doesn't seal, we'll probably go ahead and change the cylinders and pistons, and since it's the same price, we'll increase it to a 96-inch kit, which will give you more power. The 88 made some decent power, but for the same price, it's always good to be able to do an upgrade for the same price as repairing something that needs to be replaced. We'd probably go for an S&S 96-inch kit, which will come with everything you need to change to a 96. That's if the problem is with the pistons, cylinders, or the rings. We could always bore it out, and it's better just to put a new kit in. The bike, it really wakes the bike up. So look out for some more videos. I'll keep you guys posted on what's going on with the bike and what I find, and film each segment of just to show you what I'm going to do. I could go directly to the top end, but it's really simple to check out the cam chain tensioners, and they're just so unreliable that we check them on almost every bike we get that has over definitely over 30,000 miles. And then I'll tell you what's going on with that. You just have to take the exhaust off and pop the cam cover plate. You'll be able to see the external tensioner, see if that's worn, but then there's an internal that you'll have to remove the cam plate to inspect. But as always, please like, subscribe, share this video, put in the comments what you'd like me to do next. Give me some ideas of what you guys want me to examine. All right, have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.